Hello and welcome to the RT Development Podcast. I'm your host, Matt Rossignol, and today I'm excited for today's podcast. We have two longtime RT Strong athletes joining us today, and brothers as well, Jared Koenig and Ian Koenig. Both are in professional baseball. Jared is with the Milwaukee Brewers, and Ian is with the San Diego Padres organization. Both were undrafted or signed as undrafted free agents. Both guys who have been grinding to get to where they're in, and definitely a lot that we can learn from and a lot to take away from their stories and to who they are and how they got to where they are today. And big thing with having them on together is they both are very competitive, compete with each other every day, and push each other for better or worse in training daily and make each other better. And I think it's going to make for an exciting episode. So thanks, guys, for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having us out here. It's fun.
No problem. I get to see you guys interact on a daily. Most people probably don't, or most people don't get to see how it is. But for you two, I think just watching it for the 8th off season now, I think a lot of where you guys have got to is just you guys pushing each other day to day, and it's definitely helped kind of made your development and just your progress happen that much faster.
Yeah, no, I think Ian knows how to push the buttons properly and sometimes a little extensively, but it seems to help us compete even more.
Yeah, I mean, it helps just every day with someone who is quote unquote better than me because he's at the highest level. And I have to compete with that to make sure that I can get to that level so I don't have to live my life with him on a pedestal above me. Because there's nothing worse.
I can imagine. So we're going to take a step back just a little bit because you guys are 7 years apart, and this is more just toward Ian. When did you, and only from knowing a little bit and hearing you guys talk, when did you start kind of paying close attention to what Jared was doing and kind of like following him? Or was there a point where when did it finally kind of like, kind of paying attention to what he was doing?
I actually have no idea when it kind of clicked. I kind of always just followed him for better or worse. I know when I was much younger, I was awful to be around. I would want to hang out with him and his buddies all the time, and I was the little shit that would mess around, do everything, and I would complain to my mom, and she would force him to drag me along. But I think as probably like 12 years old, and I'm getting to see him, and he went off to college and all that stuff, and then he would come home, I kind of wanted to be more like that. So it just slowly phased in of me getting to go to his games in college and whatever, and I was like, whoa, this is pretty cool. Like, I'm getting to go on trips because of him. And I thought that was really fun. So I was like, maybe this is something I really want to start to push.
Very nice. Jared, did you realize or ever focus on setting a standard, or just kind of in the beginning were you just more of just an older brother?
No, I think from the beginning I was more of just an older brother. He, like he said, he was the pest, and I mean, we weren't as close up until I'd say around when he was 12, 13, 14 is when we started to become close in that realm, and to where everything is to where we are now, to where we're best friends and everything like that. He's always been there. He's always been watching. So I was never trying to set a standard. I think it's just how I went about things. It's just how I wanted to do things. I was more of the rule follower. He was more of the rule breaker. And I think that's just kind of how it went. He just wanted to cause trouble, and I was trying not to get in trouble. There was days where I got in trouble because he pissed me off. And there's a couple things that my mom never knew about that she might have found out and probably forgot about. It's okay, but it's That's what happens when you're brothers.
Sure.
The idea is to fight siblings in general, and then find the natural way to be good friends.
Absolutely. And just to kind of set a little bit more, just because we do have a lot of families, younger kids who are watching this or listening. But growing up, what sports and on what other besides baseball were you involved in?
I was always playing basketball, football, flag football. Um, I would play frisbee, ultimate frisbee, um, just kind of doing whatever, soccer. I would just try to get there, get out, be athletic, have fun. When I was younger, I did gymnastics. That was a big thing, I think, just for body coordination.
For sure.
So just trying to just have fun. I think people generalize too much now, and it's just get out there and have fun.
For sure.
Yeah, for me, like I played almost everything. I didn't play flag football until junior high, but it was soccer, basketball, baseball. Um, I in the street we would play wiffle ball all the time. I did like roller hockey in the street outside of our house some days, just like playing fun with a couple kids nearby. Uh, yeah, really. I mean, really anything that was outdoors was more our speed. We didn't really have as much TV growing up either. Like it was just wasn't a thing for us. And other than watching sports, we were kind of just outside and doing our thing.
Very nice. Do you think that helped you with athleticism and shaped you to be a better baseball player?
Absolutely. I think just being able to be put into different positions all the time where you're having to run, break down, change directions, all that translates to what we do now as a career.
Yeah. I think it helped us adapt, adjust to playing other things, trying to be the best at whatever sport we were playing at that moment in time. The goal was always to win, whether we're playing against each other or playing another team in our specific sports that we were doing. I know, like wiffle ball wise, if I beat him, he'd go inside, lock the doors, and I wouldn't be able to get in until I went until I climbed the tree toward to the upstairs bedroom on the patio to get in. So there was that competitiveness, but even us walking out there, like we have loose rocks, loose gravel out there, so we had to slip. If we were slipping, we had to be careful to land properly without destroying ourselves. And so I think all those kind of little things just added up.
Absolutely. And I would say, I mean, I think the one thing you think of, and this is more just for you guys, you think of brothers, you think obviously same bloodlines, they're going to be very, have a lot of the similar traits, but they're probably complete opposites as they could be. Obviously, one's left-handed, one's right-handed. One hits right-handed but throws left-handed. One hits left-handed but throws right-handed. But that being said, they're totally different movers. So I think from a programming standpoint and things like that, on our end, it's like if I give the same thing that I give to Jared to Ian, it's going to be detrimental or just not be as helpful, and vice versa. So just because they are brothers, they're totally different movers. But at the end of the day, those other sports and things like that help them with just overall athleticism, and especially for Ian when he really transitioned to the pitching side. That was one of the things I think really helped him, is because he was still playing infield, he was still hitting, doing all that stuff, which helped him stay athletic. And I think that's one of the things that it's one of his pluses right now, is him staying athletic, and that's definitely one of the main things we focus on every offseason, is not lose that athleticism. You touched on it a little bit in the last part. You guys are definitely very competitive. And I was going to ask you, did you have that same competitiveness in other sports that you do with the baseball side and each other?
Yeah, absolutely. I think just always trying to be better than the people around me. It just pushed me to always want to be better, and it's not fun if you kind of suck. So just finding ways to get better and be better was in my nature, and it's just more fun.
Yeah, I mean, I always wanted to be good at whatever I was doing. I still am. Like it hinders me when there's some things that I want to work on. I'm not good at it because I'm not good at it. I push it off until later on, and then I'm like, oh, I'll get it to eventually, and I kind of don't do it. So it's like, it's those things that I realize I need to work on, and because I want to be the best at it or really good at it, then yeah, I was always just competitive and still am, and the goal is to win every day and just be better than whatever I'm playing.
Absolutely. And I think kind of touched on it a little bit right there is even in their training, they're competing and wanting to win at everything they're doing, and kind of leads into my next question is who hates losing more?
Oh, Ian hates losing more than me.
Yeah, I'm a sore loser. I always have been, even in board games. That was a struggle for me growing up too. Was I've never been very good at handling losing, so I would throw stuff. I would flip boards. I would go on and all that, and just it's always better to win.
Absolutely.
I mean, it goes back to like, yeah, he'd lose in wiffle ball. He'd lock me out of the house, and I'd have to find a way in.
And with that though, do you think that has pushed you and motivated you to train harder, do those things, and or how? I guess better question. I mean, how does it affect you within how you go about your training?
Yeah, I find a way to try and get better every day with whatever I'm doing. Even through like a long season, I'm always trying to find a way to get better that day. I have a plan that I come to the field with or to the gym with of what I want to accomplish that day, how I can get just 1% better. And it eats me up sometimes because there's days where you feel lost or whatever, but you find a way to keep stacking the good days over and over again so you can get to that higher level.
Yeah, I mean, I think it continues, I guess, every time I'm here because he keeps me young, being 7 years apart, and my late start with pro ball, I guess you could say. It's helped me kind of maintain through the season and be on top of what I need to do because I'm still having to compete with him when I get back, or even in season, I'm still competing with him even though we're not in together.
Absolutely. And I mean, I definitely think it keeps you young with him, and when he keeps you on your toes, that's for sure. What's one thing that whoever wants to go first, what's one thing you won't let the other win at?
I mean, my goal is to not let him win at his velo. That's the biggest thing. So if I can maintain the velo lead over him forever, then that's a win in my book.
Yeah, that one pisses me off because there was a point where I was throwing harder than him, and he decided to start throwing hard. It helps when you're 6'5", 250, at 40 years old. But one day I'll drop all those excuses and I'll just start throwing harder than him just because I know I can and I'm going to.
Good.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
It's the last thing I do.
Okay, so what's the one thing that Ian gets under your skin the most? One thing he does that gets under your skin the most?
The one thing, I mean, he does so many things that gets under the skin. I guess when we're at home, he's bored and he wants attention, so he wants to go do something, and he'll pick items that are on the counter or something, and he'll throw them at you. And so the first time it's when you're not looking, and it's something small, and then he picks up a baseball and tosses it at you, and then he picks up like a glass, and you have to catch it every time. So I would say that gets under the skin the most, or if it's my things that are in my bedroom, it just throws them on my bed, so then I have to put them back, as he walks away.
I'm just testing his reflexes.
Yeah.
I know as you get older, your reflexes start to dwindle. So I'm just trying to keep him able to, if a line drive comes back, he's able to catch it.
I see. Because you do split time between here and Cleveland, because of him, would you say you train harder here or in Cleveland?
Not just because of him, because of you two here,
Well,
Matt.
yeah.
But it definitely helps being here. It's warmer. That aspect is a luxury that can't be really taken away. It's definitely easier to train here. I feel like I get more out of it, and more so because I'm not just like going back to my house like where I have nothing to do. Here it's like I have something to do all times, but I feel like I have more things on my brain that I'm trying to get done. Like being it's my house there, and I got things to do. So here I'm a little more free to just kind of focus on everything here. Plus I can throw outside.
Yeah.
And that is also a luxury.
Absolutely. All right, well, we're gonna change.
Wait. Ian didn't say what gets under his skin.
Oh.
I want to know.
What gets under my skin? Probably when I'm just laying in bed and he decides to come in and start fucking with my covers and start grabbing my feet. Or yeah, he'll just randomly start touching me and whatever. I don't know. There's not. I think I definitely get under his skin way more than he gets under my skin. I think. I don't know. Him throwing harder than me gets under my skin. I think that's the biggest thing. What just sucks.
Yeah. We're working.
Yeah, I know. Eventually, it'll be there.
He's let's see. He started at 28. He got there, so you have
Yeah,
four more years to catch up. Three and a half.
Yeah, I know. We're good. Day by day. Day by day.
All right. Well, let's jump into more of the baseball side or playing side. Obviously, you both did not have the typical path to where you guys are at. Jared, your path is definitely unique. 5 different independent leagues. Have to go across overseas to finally get your chance in affiliated ball. And then once you finally did get that chance, then the season was shut down. And then so finally in 21, you got your chance. Ian, you signed as a free agent. Both routes are not the typical route, right? But with that, you both have stayed consistent with what you do, how hard you work, and focus on just what your main goal is each and every day. So Jared, with you, what's one thing you learned during that stretch about yourself and that kept you going?
I think the biggest thing I learned is my routine and how to be out of it and succeed. I used to be very set in my ways. I had to do my little things each time, and I finally learned to change my attitude and kind of just go about it and be free. And when I started doing that, that was when the success kind of came, and that's kind of how I've done things now. It's the little things don't really matter for like a routine base. It's more so just doing everything I need to do, and I'll be ready, and knowing that I've done everything I need to do to be ready, and now that I can go out and do my job.
Absolutely. And then what do you think was like kind of the turning moment from those 5+ years or to the point where you finally got
Well, I mean,
signed?
the biggest thing it comes back to you. I started training with you, and my movements got better. My velo steadily increased every single year. But prior to that, it was changing my mentality and thinking this could be my last year playing baseball. I might as well enjoy it and have fun and not try and stress over little things that really don't matter.
Absolutely.
And that control everything.
Absolutely. Ian, for you, obviously undrafted, what's one thing that motivates you every day when you're out there to keep just pushing forward and to keep setting the standard?
Just knowing that any day could be my last day. Coming off of injuries and having that, knowing this game can be taken away at any second. Nothing's guaranteed. So I wake up every day knowing it could be my last. So it's like I might as well just give it my all today, because if I don't, I'm gonna hate what I did.
Absolutely. And does your brother's footsteps or what he did gone through help you continue to push forward?
Yeah, absolutely. I think just seeing what he had to go through, all the steps he had to take, and all the walls he's broken down for me, what has made my life significantly easier, because of what he had to go through, has only helped me in my game of just realizing that it could be a lot worse. So yeah, just him helping me, and he helps me get through the hard days too, of realizing, like, I'll talk to him and he'll be like, dude, it's not that big of a deal, like, just keep pushing on and things are gonna work out.
100%. Do you guys think, on whoever wants to go first, do you think the non-traditional path has changed how much you appreciate where you guys are at?
Yeah, I would say so. I think having nothing really handed to me and having to work for it every day, and knowing that I have to go out there and prove something, because I wasn't handed $3 million, so I have to keep working to keep a job. So it definitely helps keep me on my toes and fighting to keep a job.
Yeah, I mean, I it it makes it, especially now that I'm in the big leagues, it makes every day like a blessing. Like I'm fortunate for the opportunity. I'm fortunate to be given this opportunity, but to know that I've earned this opportunity, I wasn't just handed it. Like every step of the way, I had to find a way to be successful and basically be noticed to where I'm wanted. And for that to be the case, like I'm very fortunate for that, and just happy every day. Not happy, but like wanting to work and be better every day because of the opportunities I've been given. I want to keep building on that opportunity to carve out a solid career.
Absolutely. And with anything, I mean, regardless of of whatever level you're at, like there's a lot of guys who have talent, but let's say, and that's what kind of gets them seen to go to D1 or to get drafted or this or move up levels. But guys that actually stay there and stick are the guys who put in work. And I think that's what's obviously for you, Jared, is keeps you keep doing what you're doing. Ian, it's going to help you keep moving up and get to where you want it. That work that you put in is what actually keeps you there. So even if, there are guys who might have some talent or like without putting in the work, but those it usually ends up catching up to them. And with you guys, the work that you put in will keep it, so you guys keep moving forward and stick to where you guys are at. Ian, on the skill side or baseball side, what's one thing, like, and it could be just even something that Jared has told you, what's one thing you've learned from him and continue to learn from him to help you where you're at?
One thing that's helped me that Jared has said.
Apparently nothing.
No, I think there's just too much that he said over the years.
And it could be just one thing that sticks out to you.
I think the biggest thing is just saying fuck it. Just going out there and compete. Like, find a way, even when you don't have your best stuff. Like, that's what the greats do, is when you don't have your best stuff, you find a way to get outs. You find a way to compete. And I think that's the biggest thing that he's told me, is just go out there and compete.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, you're gonna have good. Your stuff. You're gonna have. I mean, especially as a starter, you're gonna have your best stuff. Maybe 10 out of your 30 starts,
Yeah.
and you got to find a way to compete the other days. Uh, what is one thing, and I'll let Jared go first on this one. What's one thing you're actively trying? What's one, let's say, focus of this offseason that you've been trying to work on?
I think the biggest focus, and I think it comes down every year, and it's breaking muscle memory and natural habits that we do. But I think the biggest thing is like maintaining like the arm slot or hand position to be below the 10 o'clock position and or 10 or below, and that way there's some more depth and run on some sinkers when needed or wanted. If I can control that and dictate when I do that, then I think that'll help us. I think that's been a focus for us and everything like that. And then obviously I think the main goal is hit 100. If we can get a true 100, then that's one more mile Ian's got to gain.
What's been the focus for you this offseason?
The focus for me has been being more efficient. So with the mechanics, so I can go deeper into games. So I'm able to get into the 6th, 7th, 8th inning with a little bit more of a coil. Just how my body, finding ways that my body moves better. That's been the biggest thing. And then adding a slider. That's hard.
Yeah, no, I think so far we've already seen a decent jump in velo. Seen some consistent things start to happen, so excited for you there.
Yeah.
Kind of into last thing more. What one thing and we'll go Ian first here. First time going 100 innings. First time putting that toll on your body. Was one thing you learned from yourself last season that you wanted to touch on for this offseason for next year?
It was, I think the biggest thing I noticed was I didn't really have a strikeout pitch for half the season because I was coming off of injuries, so I was still trying to play catch up. And then just knowing the day-to-day toll of what I need to do so I could make every start. And that was the biggest thing. The biggest learning curve was what did I need to take away? What did I need to add into my routine so it would put my body in the best position to go out there and compete?
Absolutely. Jared?
I mean, the biggest thing for me is usually the post throw stuff. Any of that stuff, my arm care, my forearm work, the scap hangs that I do, or scap pull ups that I would do. That to me, those were big aspects. After every time I was in game, that was like the main thing I did this year to be on top of it, and then everything else was just like the last few years have been. It's listening to the body and finding what I need to do, and if I'm feeling a little run down, then I take it easy and go from there. Build to kind of build up a little bit of recovery again, just to be ready for the next day.
That kind of leads into another question. Over the last 3 years, or 3 years ago, I guess I should say, you transitioned to a reliever role, and then over the last 2 years, you've, especially since you've been up with, put in a good amount of work. What's the one thing, if there's anything you're doing daily to make sure your body is ready to throw? Obviously back-to-back days, but then 3 out of 4 days and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's making sure I get my lifts in usually after the first outing. I'm lifting the next day, if not the night of after the outing, if I've got time to do that. If we're not, like at home, it's a little easier to lift after a game, whereas on the road, sometimes it's not quite as easy. Just the gyms aren't as functional, and so with that, that's a big focus. And then the next day, it's getting the treatment and in the training room, getting that stuff done, and then kind of feeling the body out, catch play, feel good, don't overdo it, kind of be ready, locked in, and then everything else just all right. Time to let the game kick in and let the adrenaline pull out what it needs to pull out.
Absolutely. And kind of the next kind of thing or wanted to touch on is first, do you guys pay attention to each other during the season? Like, are you following each other's games, box scores, whatever?
I'll watch Ian's box score. I mean, I'm usually playing at the same time as him, so I can't watch the game. I'll see the results, and I'll call him after the game, or it'll be the next day. I'll call him, and odds are it's like I look at the box score, and I know the box score doesn't tell everything, so I'm not really concerned about it. I call him and see what he says, what happened, what didn't happen. Was the defense okay? Was the defense on top of it, or not that day? Because there's all those games that happen where things are out of your control. And so yeah, I'll check in on him and see how he's doing and go from there.
Yeah, I check the box score in our group chat. Our buddy Kyle and I will usually text him after an outing to say like good job, or shit happens when bad things happen. So yeah, I'm always checking in. I can barely watch the games. I get more anxiety watching him than playing, because all I want to do is just see him succeed. So you kind of get nervous when situations like that happen. But usually, just look at the box score, and usually it's pretty good. Besides a block.
It's been pretty good the last 2 years.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Good. I guess my question is, since you guys both understand or truly understand what the grind is, does it make it easier going through each year, or I guess does it make it easier when reaching out? Like, let's not obviously hope there's not many, but if someone has a bad outing, are you more of like, it just happens because you're gonna have bad days, or is it more like trying to give feedback?
I think it's a mixture of both. Sometimes when you are out there and you kind of feel lost during the season because maybe you've had 2 back-to-back outings where you didn't throw well, and he'll reach out and I'll talk to him, and it's like it's so much easier because he's been there and he's like, dude, it happens. Like, just keep working, keep going through your routine, and it helps when you have good people in your corner to make through the long season much easier, because you have people that you can reach out to, and that will help calm your nerves when you're struggling.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, there's those tough days that you're gonna have. That's part of the game. Baseball is not an easy game, and so you're going to fail at some point, and whether it be 3 runs just on one bad pitch, or it's just multiple little things that compound, and then it's one of those days where you just got to deal with it. Yeah, I usually just go back and like we'll play like some video games and talk about it, but I don't usually dwell on it as much. I can't. I have to be ready for the next day. Obviously, it still eats at you, but it just pushes me to be better the next day at the gym and in the game. Like, that's the goal, is like, hey, give me this opportunity again. Let me get out there and be better.
Absolutely. I mean, that's probably one of the pluses of being a reliever, is you're probably getting another opportunity for tomorrow or the next day, versus a reliever you're gonna have to starter you gotta find a way to let it go because you got 7 days to dwell or 6 days to dwell on it.
Yeah.
So, but I think you talked about it earlier, is like that's the importance of having your routine, having your plan for the week, knowing what you're gonna do every day, so that you stick to that and kind of get you refreshed for the next day, so that you come back better.
Exactly.
Couple last questions, get you out of here. But if you had a younger brother coming up right now, how would you help him? How would you guide him? And what would you tell him?
I mean, I have a younger brother, and I help him every day. But if we had a younger brother, I think the first thing would be here at the gym.
Yeah. He'd
And
be coming here.
be training here and making sure you're getting better this way, whatever it may be, and whatever you're comfortable with, but always trying to be better than you were the last day. And then when it comes to schools and colleges and stuff like that, show your stuff, show what you can do, but focus on what you're doing to help yourself, and then it'll be everything should be good as long as you're doing what you need to do for yourself.
Yeah, and I'd probably bully him. Make sure that he knows life isn't easy, and that it's not sweet. So I would try to make sure that I push him down enough where he knows how to pick himself up, fight back, and start to have that internal ability to push himself when it matters.
Good. What did competition between you get right? Meaning, like, has it helped you get to where you're at right now?
I think the competition aspect is what pushes us. So I think that's what got us right is that same, like we said earlier, is to be better than the person we're next to, the person we're facing, and not paying. Like, I think the thing we do well is we don't pay attention to names as much. We kind of just go out and focus on ourselves and see how we can get each guy out and what we need to do to be successful.
Yeah, I think just the competition between us through our entire lives has been the best thing. You just have this person who's always trying to get you better, and by you seeing them want to get better, you want to get better, and it's just this endless cycle of always trying to push each other day after day, and over a long period of time, those stack big time.
100%. What's one thing, or it doesn't have to be one thing, but if there is one thing you could change, what would it be?
Coming here sooner.
Yeah, I got nothing other than that. Is be in the gym sooner here with knowing you sooner than we did.
Yeah, I mean,
I think that was would be the only thing, because if then I'm a first rounder.
Yeah. that would have been the best thing if we had this 5 years before we did.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Just glad it worked out, and yeah, wish it was earlier, but hey, it is. We've made the most of it.
Exactly.
We all have our different paths, and
Yeah.
we're just trying to continue
Everyone has
to build.
a plan that was already instilled, and you just got to find a way to make it the best.
Absolutely. Okay, we're gonna finish up with a couple rapid fire questions.
Great.
First one: who's better at video games?
Me.
He was at the start.
I'm still better. It doesn't matter. He
Uh,
has gotten better, but
no.
I'm still better.
My KD's better.
All right, I'll let, this wasn't part of it, but I'll let you have one. Who's a better golfer?
Me.
Ian's a better
that's
golfer.
not even
Always
close.
has been.
Always will be.
Yeah, probably will be.
Yeah, no, not probably. The only time you'll ever be better is if I die.
Pre-game meal.
Usually chicken and rice, something that I know will keep me satiated, and it's probably about 4 hours before the game, before I compete.
Mine varies, but it's usually pretty light for the direct pregame meal. Everything is it's usually on the lighter side, some starches, something that'll kind of turn to some energy later on.
Favorite pitcher to watch?
Yamamoto.
And it could be growing up too.
I mean, yeah, growing up, favorite ones were Dontrell Willis, Johan Santana, and like Barry Zito, all left-handers. But
I loved Tim Lincecum.
Tim Lincecum was
Yeah.
fun too.
Good one. Favorite lift?
Deadlift.
No lift.
Deadlift, yeah.
I think this offseason it was bench. It was fun.
Good. think you got up to what, 240?
Yeah, 240 for one.
Very nice. All right, last one. Excuse me. Favorite pregame music.
Something that kind of is like heavier rock side. Kind of puts me in a locked in mode, a little more on the, you could say, angrier side.
I was big on house music this year. House music or country music was a big one, just to feel good, get the vibes right, and then just go out there and have fun.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys. Appreciate you guys doing this. It's been awesome to watch your guys' journey to get here and to continue on. I think there's a lot left in what you guys got and where you're going. And so appreciate you guys coming on and doing this with us. And like I said in the beginning, I get to see you guys get after it every day and compete with each other. And excited to share that a little bit with that. For any of the parents or families watch younger kids, I mean, these are two you definitely want to learn from and take away from. I mean, their paths, they've had to work for everything they've gotten, and they continue to do so, and then shown that with hard work you can get to where you want, and they continue to show that and do it day in, day out. And eight off seasons in, they're still pushing each other every day and pushing themselves. And so there's a lot you can take away from it, and a lot to learn, and definitely if you put in the work, good things can happen. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for having us, Matt.
Yeah,
of course.
Appreciate it.
Well, I'm excited for you guys to get started. We're about a couple days away from you guys leaving for spring training, starting your next season.
Yep.
And both have had awesome off seasons, so I'm excited to see you guys out there. With that, you can always find us at rossistraining.com. You can on Instagram as well at Rossi's Training. If you have any questions, please reach out. Till the next episode. Thanks for listening. Bye.